Okay, here we go. Number one, review packet. So solve the triangle, find all sides and angles. Luckily, we have our nice little formulas up here for you. Which method do you think is best? So I recognize now we have an angle, a side, and an angle. So that would tell me law of sines is best because I have two angles in this problem, an angle, a side, and an angle. Okay? I'm going to start off by finding, well, first of all, I need to know what angle B is. So I'm going to do 180 minus 43 minus 49 and get 88 for angle B, 88 degrees. This is 88 degrees. Why did I do that? Well, because I have side B. All right, now if I want to find side A and side C, I need a pair, I need an angle and a side to go with it within my proportion up here. Okay, so let's start with side A. So I got sine of 88 over side B, which is 41, equals the sine of 43 over A. Cross multiply. A times the sine of 88 equals 41 times the sine of 43. And then divide by the sine of 88. Divided by the sine of 88. Now remember, plug this all into your calculator. 41 times the sine of 43 divided by the sine of 88. Don't try to round your answers as you go along. All right, then your answers won't be as exact as possible. You should get 27. I think it's 27.977. So I'm going to round it to 27.98. Now to find to find side C, I could use angle A and side A, but since side A is a decimal here, I'm just going to stick with angle B and side B. So sine of 88 over 41 equals sine of 49 over C. Holy buckets. All right, cross multiply. The process is the same. It's just the setup sometimes that gets people a little bit. There it is. And then divide by the sine of 88. Divided by the sine of 88. Remember, I'll say it again, even though I said it last time, plug this entire thing into your calculator. 41 times the sine of 49. You could press enter there and then do divided by the sine of 88, or you could plug it in straight away. You should get 30.96 about for side C. Okay? Let's go here. Number two. It says solve the triangle, find all missing sides and angles. Which method do you think is best? Well, I have a side, an angle, and a side to start, so I'm going to use cosines. All right, cosines. Since I have angle C and sides A and B, I'm going to use this form of cosine because I have all of this on the right side of the equals, and I'm trying to find C. I can find angles A and B later once I find side C. So here we go. C squared equals A squared plus B squared minus 2 times A times B times the cosine of 93. All right, now I'm going to simplify this. Okay, so C squared equals 441 plus 576 minus 1008 times the cosine of 93. I want to leave this as exact as possible. So I'm going to take the square root of both sides from here and plug this whole thing under the square root into my calculator. The square root of, now you could have done just square root of 21 squared plus 24 squared minus 2 times 21 times 24 times the cosine of 93. I just showed this step here that I highlighted, okay? Just a little bit easier. I'll show you what I mean. Let's just try this here, just so you can see it live. So I'm going to go second, not now, second squared 441 plus 576 minus 1008 times cosine of 93. Close it. Press enter. And that's how I got my answer. That's where the 32.71 comes from. Oops. Now to find angle B, oops, 32, not 33, I'm going to need to use the law of sines. Now, could you find angle A? Sure. You can find angle A first. No matter what, you're going to have to use the law of sines, and you're going to have to use angle C and side C to help you do that. So what do I mean? So sine of 93 over 32.71 equals sine of B over 24. I know you're thinking like, hey, we don't have two angles and one side. We have three sides and one angle. Well, since we have an angle and a side pairing, so like an angle C and side C, I can now use a law of sines, okay, since I have that pairing, okay? Let's cross multiply. Whoops, I'll do that in a different color. There we go. So let's go 24, or excuse me, let's go 32.71. Why don't we do this in purple? 30 or blue. 32.71 times the sine of B equals 24 times sine of 93. Divided by 32.71. So I have sine of B equals 24 times sine of 93 over 32.71. Now, here's the thing. We want to leave these answers exact as possible. So remember, to find a missing angle, I have to use the inverse sign, the inverse operation. So angle B is going to be the sine inverse of all of this. All of that. I'm going to plug all of that into my calculator, and I'll show you how if you need to see it. Okay, you can do it two different ways. So I'm going to show you both. So I could do this. Here we go. I can do this. 24 times sine of 93, not tan, divided by 32.71, and then press second sine inverse, and then second, and we're going to go down to the negative sign to get the answer, and get 47.11. Okay? I can also just plug it all in at once. Second sine inverse of 24 times sine 93 divided by 32.71. Enter, and get 47.11. That takes out the step of having to hit second answer if you want to take out that step. So 47.11 degrees, and then I can just do 180 minus 93 minus 47.11 to get 39.89 degrees. Now, if you found angle A first using the law of sines, your decimals might be a little bit different, but that's all right. I'm sure it'll be about the same. All right.